Hey everyone, let's talk about automation. Well, specifically, let's talk about taking all of those scripts that you have lying on your computer. If you're a sysadmin or an infrastructure guy or person, guy or gal, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have all of these little scripts that do various little things to help you automate various parts of your job. Um, and they're just kind of littering your computer. Maybe they're in a Git repository um, or something like that. But they basically just are a bunch of utility scripts. Let's talk about automating them and making them documented, maybe triggerable by other people in your organization, available to your teammates or your, you know, manager, colleagues, whatever, um, and have them somewhere other than your machine, but in a place where they can still run, right? Because just having them in a Git repository doesn't make them immediately runnable. And that's exactly what Astromech is. Astromech is a little utility application, a little service that runs on a machine that you can put basically wherever you want. Uh, and it runs those scripts for you. It provides kind of a Git repository interface, so you can just push your scripts up to it, and then they become accessible to uh, anyone inside your organization. So if you saw my previous video, I did a really quick demo of it, um, and I showed there really isn't much to the Astromech UI. That might change in the future. But if I go to this URL, which is probably tiny to see, uh, my Astromech server /_ hello.py, it just says, hey, hello.py exists, right? That verifies. Now I can actually post to that same URL and I get hello UUID and a new UUID every single time I hit the send button, and that's cool. That script doesn't really do a whole lot, but it is a Python script. All I did was write this Python script, and git commit, git push up to Astromech, and it made that available. I could modify this script and show it updating on Astromech, but let's actually do something a little bit different. And let's say we'll add a new file called demo.sh, and we'll say, bin bash, and let's do something like hello world, and we'll say cat. That's the issue. Now, why am I doing cat? That's the issue. Well, because the way Astromech works, it's just a script, right? There's nothing fancy about this. It's not running in a particular runtime. It's just running a script on the machine. So, yes, use this with caution. There might be sensitive things that you don't want to expose, but obviously you control this Git repository, so you can push things up to it that are safe, right? You can write your scripts in a way that they're only going to do what you intend them to do. But if you need to make use of resources on the machine, say to deploy something within uh, a web server that's running on that machine, well, you have access to it right there. It's designed to be an agent that has access to the entire machine, right? And treat it appropriately, right? In my case, I am running it on port 80 and port 443 for demo purposes, but there's nothing stopping you from running Astromech on, a hidden port, either behind a reverse proxy or just directly with the built-in web server. Anyway, we have this demo Excel script. Let's git add and git commit dash m, add a demo script, and git push. Right. Again, nothing fancy here. It's just a Git repository. But I push up to my Astromech server. And now, if we go over to demo.sh, you can see the URL _ demo.sh because it's a script in that scripts folder called demo.sh. Astromech will run it. And here we go. We get hello world, and it tells me that I'm running on the Ubuntu 24.10 machine, right? I just did cat Etsy issue, and that's this line here is the contents of the Etsy issue file. I could have done anything else. I could have cat Etsy password. I'm not going to because that's a huge security hole, but I could have, right? Anything that I have access to on that machine, um, Astromech uh, can have access to. Actually, Etsy password would probably not work because Astromech does run as its own user. Um, that has very limited permissions. That's intentional. You can add permissions to that Astromech user if you want to, if you need to. Now, obviously, this, again, it just runs scripts. So if you wanted to, say, install the Azure CLI on your Astromech server and write scripts that use the Azure CLI, you could do that. Totally fine. You could provide configuration information so that it automatically authenticates with Azure or with AWS or something like that. That's actually why I built Astromech in the first place, was to orchestrate some of this, the automation of configuring and setting up and installing and updating systems, little projects that I was running, be they Azure, AWS, wherever. I just wanted a little tool that I could put scripts in place and then be able to trigger them through, just a post request. This is actually the second version of something like this. I built a little PHP app that I called R2D2. Of course, that is trademarked, so I can't actually call something R2D2. Astromech is totally fine though. But it was a little PHP app called R2D2, and basically all the scripts in there were hard coded. I wrote PHP to do all the individual things, and realized that I was writing a lot of extra code when what I really wanted to do was just have a little repository of scripts that I could write individually and then trigger them through web requests. So that's how Astromech came about. So Astromech is a system. It is available. There is no website right now. So the best way to get access to Astromech is just to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can leave a comment down below. Um, it is not open source, but it is a little server package that you can install and run on your systems. And I do plan on adding more features to it. If you have something that you want to see in Astromech to support one of your particular workflows, let me know. Reach out to me again, comment down below, or send me a message on LinkedIn, or send me an email, and we'll definitely make it happen for you. Um, and if you like this video, please share it with all of your friends and colleagues and anyone else who has little utilities that they need to run on a regular basis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.